Thank you very much, Melanie. I now want to offer some very brief closing remarks. In 1976, Marc Lalonde, the Minister of Health, Federal Minister of Health under the Liberal government, the Trudeau government, laid out an agenda for prevention of health impacts by promoting exercise and healthy diets. Mr. Lalonde and his staff were truly visionary. I suspect that if their vision had been implemented, we would be saving billions of dollars in our healthcare system right now. The good news is that politicians now, 30-odd years, 35 years later, seem to have gotten the message, and that they understand we need to do more to prevent illness and promote prevention and encourage healthy lifestyles. In 2004, the Ontario government established its Ministry of Health Promotion. We applaud them for that. The federal leaders are talking about prevention of health impacts in this election. We enthusiastically endorse this. This is a good thing. But there has been a great deal of buck passing on many health issues and prevention issues for decades. This is a prime example of that kind of buck passing, and we need the buck passing to stop after the election on May 2nd. Thank you. We now will take questions.
What is there for parents and families to do? Even here in Toronto, there are 74 schools that have Wi-Fi. What kinds of actions can they take, or is there any kind of safe way for the kids to still engage in the classroom?
Well, unfortunately, once Wi-Fi is installed in the schools, it's difficult for parents to react to that. They can ask that the Wi-Fi be removed, and this is unlikely to happen. They can ask that the Wi-Fi be monitored so that it could be turned off when it's not in use to minimize exposure. So really what parents have to do is influence the school boards before the Wi-Fi is installed in the school system. There are alternatives to Wi-Fi even once you have Wi-Fi in there. There's something called broadband over power lines, which allows you to use the electrical wires in the school environment to connect at different locations, so students could connect without going through the wireless system. The Wi-Fi that we have in schools is much more powerful than the Wi-Fi we have in the home environment, and there are more students using it at the same time, and this is what we're primarily concerned about. It's not to say that Wi-Fi in home is a good thing, but we're talking about a much more industrial strength Wi-Fi that kids are exposed to.
Stronger is the Wi-Fi in schools?
Well, the Wi-Fi in the schools exceeded Safety Code 6 in one of the schools that was actually tested. It's well above the guidelines that we have for other countries in the world, unlike Canada, who doesn't have very good guidelines, and it's well above the levels that we tested for that heart palpitations and for the arrhythmia.
How does that compare to the Wi-Fi at home in terms of strength?
Well, it depends how close you sit to the Wi-Fi unit at home. Some Wi-Fi units emit all the time, and I'm not recommending that you have Wi-Fi in the home. I'm actually recommending that you replace it with something else. But it's the school Wi-Fis that we're most concerned about, because young children are much more sensitive to all sorts of chemical contaminants than adults are, and they're the ones who are going to be responding much more severely than we are.
If I could just add to that. I would suggest that if parents are concerned about Wi-Fi, as they should be talking to their teachers, to their principals, to their school trustees, and getting the word around that this is not acceptable. While Magda Havis is right in saying that it is much harder to do it once, to get them to stop it once it's in, it's not impossible. In France, in other countries in Europe, they are pulling out the Wi-Fi from their schools because they realize it's dangerous. They've had more experience with this, and they are realizing, and we're 10 years behind, we shouldn't have to go through the same mistakes that they've gone through and learn the hard way that this is not the right thing to do. So parents really have to be strong advocates for their children.
Yes.
Absolutely. Everyone's available for one-on-one comments. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So are there any more questions? I know there are not many journalists left. So,
is it possible to get them from the audience?
Sure. You'd like to take a question?
My school, every single computer is using cable.
Questions are not permitted.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So if you have any more questions, please go ahead, Jennifer. I mean, you know, you have us here. Do you have questions, sir?
Yeah.
Go. You want to wait until we're outside?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming today. We appreciate your interest, and we look forward to further discussion with you.